Hello, hello, hello. How you doing again? So, 5 A's as to how to unstick yourself. Are you stuck? Are you just seem to be thinking and doing the same things every single day? And I want to help you out of that. So, yesterday, or was it the day before? I was talking about the 5 A's. So, acknowledge, accept, attention, allow, and appreciation. It is literally a magic trick. Do you want to know more about it? Well, I've already talked about acknowledge, so watch the previous video on this, and it'll be on Monday that I did it around this time as well. And so this one is all about accept. So the first step is whenever you recognize that you're stuck, and undo your stickiness, then acknowledge is the first thing. This one is all about acceptance. Accept, accept, accept. Now you're going, well, why would I accept where I am? Oh, hiya, Jennifer from Florida. I bet you've got gorgeous weather right there. We have too in the UK just at this moment in time, which is wonderful. But I have a friend in Florida and I know she showed me about being on the beach and everything. Oh, that's a good way to unstick yourself and go to the beach. Do that today if you can. That would be absolutely awesome. So, step 2, acceptance. What do I mean by that? So, the first step is obviously acknowledge, and that is about just acknowledge where you are. I mean, you've got to be honest with where you are and just going, okay, and there's some feelings inside me that I don't like. So, go into the live that tells you all about that. And if you want to know what it is, just message me and I will tag you into that as well. So, acceptance, what do I mean? Well, what I realized that I did was is that because I'm positivity strength number one, is that I would completely go to positive and ignore the negative. But here's the thing: nature creates out of a void. There's always the polar opposite. And so she will create the polar opposite before the real thing is actually put into place. The two things happen actually at the same time. So if you want something, and you immediately feel that it's not there, that's the punch in the stomach that you feel. It's telling you the void is there, it's created, which means the opposite must be there. Now, why do I say that? Well, because there's a right, there's a left. I wouldn't know I had a right hand if I didn't have a left. There's an up and a down. I wouldn't know there was an up if there wasn't a down. And there's an inside and an outside. We live in polarity. And the only reason that something positive happens in your life is because you probably had a good kick up the butt with a negative shock. I literally call it, it's like electric shock sometimes, isn't it? When you get those negative feelings coming in and they literally go, and it like jolts you awake. Just call it your electric shock. To wake up. Wake up. That's what it's there for. It's saying you're thinking a thought that isn't serving you, but actually that thought does serve you because you're going in the wrong direction. Like you wouldn't beat up your car if you have one of those cars that literally, it beeps on the white lines either side. I mean, you don't shout at your car when it beeps at you, do you? Or if somebody pulled over into your lane, you'd be beeping at them to get them back. So why, when your body beeps at you, do you go, like, it's like being in the car and going, driving off the road, way down the side passage, over the mountains and hills, and you just go, instead of coming back to feeling good and being in alignment with yourself, you're away off down there, aren't you? Away off over the flipping hills and over the bushes and probably down a few ditches. Why do we do that? So think of it that way. Think of it that way, that literally that negative shock is just to wake up. And that's what it's there for. How brilliant is that? So here's the thing. Here's a bit of science behind this. Quantum science tells us that yes and no exist at the same time and probably 3,000 possibilities in between. Let me say that again. Quantum physics is showing us that yes and no exist at the same time and potentially 3,000 possibilities in between. So if you're only wanting this thing to happen and you're in resistance for everything else, guess what's going to be brought to you? That which you resist persists. That which you resist persists. So if you're resisting the negative and you keep finding it coming back, well, there you go, because you're resisting it. Can't you just accept where you are? Let me tell you the one moment that I really, really accepted where I was, and it was to do with my journey, which we'll find out. Yes, Jennifer, it is. We'll find out next week, all a bit more about my journey. But one of the times that I was just where I wasn't really wanting to be, and I resisted it for a couple of years. And I remember putting the key in the door, and I stood there, and all of a sudden I had complete gratitude for the learning that I had done. It was actually whenever lockdown happened last year. And it was either accept it or go mad. I was driving myself mad with all my thoughts and all my arguments in my head. And so as I was putting the key in the door, I thought, oh my goodness, I am so grateful for the learnings that I've had. And you'll find out more next week. All these learnings that I've had, I am so grateful. Within 2 months, we moved house. I was resisting where I was so much. It held me there. I remember when I first moved into the house that I went, when the landlord had said, how long are you staying? And in my head, I was thinking 3 months and I'm out of here. Like, there's no way I'm staying here. But I was just in complete resistance to it all. Resistance to how I was feeling. It wasn't anything happening to me. I had done all of this to myself. And if you're not on the masterclass next week, make sure you register up there, because I'm going to take you through my journey. And I can only tell you my truth, but that truth has led me to have and continue to have more of what I want, and for things to go in the direction that I want them to go in. Bob always calls them C-type goals, and they're like that's the big vision. And I achieved that. And literally it happened in 2 months when I let go, when I accepted where I was. 100%. And in fact, I had gratitude. So what I was saying is that yes and no exist at the same time. But which are you looking at? Which will take us to the next lesson, which I will do tomorrow. Just these short lessons to help you get through. So 5 A's. First one is acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge the feelings. How do I get here? When does this happen? How often does this happen? Why does it happen? I don't need to stay there too long. It's just an initial recovery to go, hang on a minute. I seem to have these mood swings all the time. I seem to go up and down like this. And guess what? My finances go up and down like this. Or guess what? My relationships go up and down like this. Well, guess what? Your mood's going up and down like this. Everything in your outside life is dependent upon your mood. And if you haven't caught that yet, catch it now. So that's the first step, is acknowledge. And remember these 5 steps that I'm teaching you. First of all, it might take you, 15 minutes to go through them, and then it'll take you 10, and then it'll take you 5, and then you'll be able to do it straight away. It's like a habit that you actually pick up on. So I just want you to have these 5 little tricks. So acknowledge where you are. How often do you have your mood swings, and when do they happen? Because there's a little bubble inside you that has a little mood. And stop going outside and around it. Enough of that nonsense. We're going to go and we're going to look at it. And that's what accepting is just like accept where you are and accept those feelings. Because if you disregard those feelings, it's like disregarding the little child inside of you who was disregarded when she was a little child. Do you remember those days? Do you remember those times whenever you wanted something and then you were just pushed aside or whatever? We've all had them. The times when, well, we're not even going to go there, but that's like you doing that again to that little child. These are feelings that you have stuffed down, and gone, feel the fear and do it anyway, but it's not working. You're hurting yourself, and I want you to release yourself. So acknowledge where you are, accept where you are, stop fighting. Stop fighting. That is the first thing. Stop fighting yourself. Enough is enough now. So register for the webinar if you haven't already done it, because we'll be going into this, why I'm saying these 5 A's for this week. Really deep diving behind them so that you can understand you, because when you understand you, you'll understand the results that you're getting, and your results don't lie. Stop working harder. Stop getting more qualifications. You are amazing. I promise you, everything you want is inside. Everything. I didn't believe it myself. But the more and more I started to find out through this study with Bob Proctor, the more I realized, I do that, but I didn't know I did that. Now I'm going to make more of it. Oh, I do enjoy that. I'm going to do more of that. Why am I doing this? I'm not doing that anymore. I've just had a message from a girl who said about, coming onto the webinars next week. And she's chosen her job over the webinars. Now, you can watch them as a replay. But here's the thing. If you're watching this, or you've had any messages from me, or you've joined one of my webinars, and then you say that you haven't time, you have asked for something. The universe can only bring you what you've asked for. You then decide whether you go forward. The universe is always giving you opportunities to step forward. You either step forward or you go back. And then you ask again, and then you keep stepping back, and then you ask again, then you keep stepping back. Make this appointment in your diary no matter what time it is. Doesn't matter if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, get up and watch the replay, or put me on in bed. Sure, it'll be fun. Get into bed with you with a wee cup of tea, and we can get all cozy. Yeah. Make this appointment for yourself, because I am going to just tell you everything. You've asked for something, and the universe is giving you. If you're watching me, the universe is giving you your answer. You could not see me otherwise. I promise you. And then there'll be more opportunities for you to step forward by being on live every single day next week. Put it in your diary, 1 to 2 UK time, 7 a.m. CST, 8 a.m. EST, and 2 p.m. CET. I got it. So anyway, tomorrow we are doing the next one. So there's 5 A's: acknowledge, accept, attention. Hi, Samuel. I hope you've got your email now. You have your Zoom link. So check out just in case it's gone to spam. So acknowledge, accept, attention. Forgotten them now. I've said them so many times. It's just like, where am I? Anyway, we'll find them out the rest of the week. So it's just a process that I just do naturally. And I want you to do it. Allow and appreciate. There you go. We got there in the end. Listen, have an awesome, awesome day. And I hope the weather is just shining bright wherever you are. And greetings from Nigeria too. And greetings from the UK. Bye.